Greetings, people of the galaxy. I am Zach, and I am here for a review slash breakdown of the second episode of The Bad Batch. This one's going to be a little different, admittedly. I don't have a lot of time, so it's going to be a little quicker, and that should be fine because this episode wasn't the biggest of episodes. There wasn't a ton that happened, but there were some things that I did want to get into, so without further ado, let's do this. So first of all, we went back to Seleucami and we saw Cut and his family. They appeared in season 2 of the Clone Wars, and that was a really fun episode. Back then I really enjoyed that. I thought it was one of the stronger episodes of early Clone Wars, and so it was nice to revisit Cut and his family to see how they kind of aged since then and whatnot. And we learned that Rex had also sought out Cut and passed through, which is interesting because we know from the trailer that we will be seeing Rex link up with the Bad Batch. And so I'm curious to find out how they find him, though obviously they eventually will, so that's something to keep an eye on. Furthermore, we saw a Nexu, which was the cat monster from Attack of the Clones in the arena, and I was thrilled to see this creature because it's one of my favorite Star Wars creatures, right up there with the Rancor and the Acklay, one of the other monsters from the arena. And it was just a fun little Easter egg, and it ended up playing a bigger part in the story than I thought it was, because I thought, oh, they showed a shot of it at the beginning, and I thought that was just a nice little nod, but then it ended up coming back later in the episode, so that was fun. Like I said, one of my favorite creatures in Star Wars. We also got a look at a new villain that is going to be playing a role in the Bad Batch, and that is Vice Admiral Rampart. He was the Imperial officer in the hologram that we saw briefly in this episode. I imagine we'll be seeing a lot more of him later in the series, but for now we just got a quick look, and he definitely seemed to be drinking the company Kool-Aid in regards to the Empire. So a nice little tease of him in this episode. Furthermore, we got even more Hunter and Omega relationship development, and I have to say I really do like where this is going. I think that Hunter is definitely getting the most development of any of the clones, and his connection with Omega, the kind of father-daughter relationship that they're forming, is fun to watch, and I'm interested to see where it goes. Now, I could argue that it is a little bit redundant because the Mandalorian did that with Din and Grogu not too long ago, so for them to kind of do the same thing over again, a little redundant, but it is slightly different, and I think it's worked so far, so I'm not going to complain about that too much. And Omega, I said this in my last review, but I was a little worried about the prospect of Omega because Star Wars hasn't handled kid characters super well historically, and I have to say I'm enjoying Omega quite a bit. I think she's played very well. I think her voice actress does a fantastic job, and I like the fact that she acts her age. She isn't see, I always hate when kids in movies or TV shows act like adults because they're written by adults and the adults don't remember what kids are like. But I think Omega does feel like a kid, and I'm enjoying seeing her witness the galaxy at large. Like when she picks up the dirt and it's like, what's this? That was a fun moment because she lived on Camino. There was no dirt there. She lived on a platform over the sea. So that was a real moment that I bought, and it felt very genuine. So I really do like Omega so far, and overall it was a fairly uneventful episode. When looking at the big picture, it was very much a filler episode, and it kind of gave me it was very reminiscent of a Rebels episode where they had to invade a Imperial compound to get some information or steal some tech or something. It felt like that, so it had that Rebels feel. It definitely felt more like a Rebels episode than a Clone Wars episode to me, and it was a bit more lighthearted than the premiere. But overall, I'd have to say I'd give this episode about a 6 out of 10. It was fun, just not a lot happened, and I'm still looking forward to the next one. Like, by no means did I dislike this episode, I just didn't think it was amazing. So let me know down in the comments what you thought about this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you lukewarm about it? I'll be interested to see your responses. So thank you so much for watching, folks. I'm Zach, and I'll see you in the future.